in this week's episode of Star Trek Discovery, and please don't read any further if you haven't watched number 4 yet. We discovered that the savage tardigrade monster beamed over from the USS Glenn may also be a gentle giant, and a helpful one at that, for the ship's crew, who used its unique gifts to perform a longer jump without accidentally turning themselves into a Stan Winston creation. But it turns out that original plans for the tardigrade were to develop it in an entirely different way. So we have this tardigrade, and for those that don't know, it is a microscopic creature that lives in water, and it is part of an ecosystem. And like all Trek allegories, what you see is not always what you get, so what may look like a monster may not be that, even though the creature has been introduced as such. Co-creator Alex Kurtzman explained in a report from Trek Movie, in the original conception, the tardigrade was one of the bridge crew members. It was going to be like you come in and there was Mary and there was Shazad and then there is Ephraim, named for the first zoologist to observe tardigrades. It would have been really cool because he would have just been there. The team couldn't make it work in the end, although they got to the puppet building stage. We just couldn't pull it off. We also got an introduction to Sarah's threat ganglia, which might end up being a vital clue in bad situations later on. My threat ganglia tend to deploy when there is an unseen threat, said Doug Jones at the panel. If you're coming at me with a phaser in my face, they probably don't go because I know what's happening. It's when something's behind the door. It's like when your dog barks at the door and there's nothing there. I'm the dog. Next week's episode, the 5th in the series, is going to be key, according to the cast and crew. It's a really interesting episode that is about torture. And it is about loyalty, mused co-showrunner Aaron Harberts, before adding, this is one to watch very carefully, because this is an episode that sows seeds for the rest of the season. Here's the trailer for that episode. Choose your pain, but beware, it covers a lot of the story, so for the spoiler phobic we suggest not watching it. More as we have it. Star Trek Discovery release date. You can find new episodes of the series on Netflix UK every week. Season 2 will be a long way off, it's been confirmed. Alex Kurtzman, who produces the show, recently sat down to talk about Season 2 plans, and revealed that the crew is only in post-production on Episode 5, with the final 2 episodes of the season still filming. Taking this into account, we'll be in for quite the wait for more episodes when this is all over. 2019, in fact, is the air date the team is aiming for. Ideally, on the early side of 2019. There have been preliminary conversations about when and how a second season could air, and we've been very consistent in our message, which is that, rather than announce a date and have to push again, let's take into consideration everything we've learned from this season, Kurtzman said. Now we know what we can do and where the sand traps are, so let's give ourselves ample time to announce a date that makes sense to everybody, both the needs of production and CBS. Breaking story is, in some ways, the easier and faster thing. It's the ability to execute on it that's much harder. We want to take the right amount of time and don't want to rush.